Hi, my name is Jeff Clark, and for the past 40 years, I've shown people from all walks of life how to retire wealthy. Retired school teachers, doctors, even the occasional pro athlete. But today, I'm going to show you a retirement method that's unlike anything you've probably ever seen. It has nothing to do with buy and hold. In fact, it has nothing to do with any traditional investments like stocks and bonds. In short, it's a way to trade one unique type of investment over and over again and potentially make all the money you need to fund your retirement. I call it the One Trade Retirement Blueprint. And it's a dream come true for folks at or near retirement age. Now, you don't need a PhD in finance or intimate knowledge of how the markets work. Just a little bit of spare time and a few $100s is enough to get started. Now, I know this might sound a little bit too good to be true, maybe even reckless. But as we speak, my team and I are seeing tremendous results. Last year, while most folks were hemorrhaging money, we started test driving a version of this strategy, which involves a unique corner of the market. And we delivered a 100% win rate. You heard that right, 100%. Now, in other words, during the worst marketing years, a small group of beta testers could have made hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars. And going back even further, my team has used this type of approach to generate huge returns in all types of markets. And over the next few minutes, I'll explain everything. I'll reveal the unique asset class that makes these gains possible. I'll break down our unbelievable track record, and I'll even reveal a name and ticker that you can start using immediately. And if you choose to get in on our next recommendation, you can set yourself up for some nice gains in the near future. As you'll see, this area of the market is changing the lives of everyday people. Just listen to these stories that I found online. They're extraordinary. Look at Dan L. A few years ago, he was just an everyday guy working at a restaurant. But then he started trading this unique investment with the money that he'd saved up. And at first, he had some losses, but he kept at it. And before long, he was a millionaire. Or look at Nell M. Nell had been through some financial setbacks and was down on her luck. So she looked to the markets for answers. But she didn't take the usual approach. She started using her own version of this one trade blueprint. And 2 years later, she'd made enough money to start her own business. And today, she's a millionaire. Think of the freedom that buys you. Think about all the things you wouldn't have to worry about anymore. Market crashes, rate hikes, years of lousy market returns. Who cares? You'd finally be able to enjoy life to the fullest. Now look, obviously everyone's experience is going to be different. These are exceptional results. But who knows? Maybe they're exaggerating their success. I don't know. But I do know that the folks in our beta test had the chance to earn thousands of dollars every month. And again, I know this all seems kind of impossible, especially in today's market. After all, we just went through the worst stock market decline since the 2008 crash. Years of hard-earned savings vanished into thin air. And some of the smartest financial minds are predicting a long, hard slog going ahead. Now, to most people, the thought of making lots of money at a time like this is pure fantasy. And truth be told, if we were trading the normal way, these kinds of results, well, they would be a fantasy. So where are these gains coming from? The currency market, or Forex, as it's sometimes called. This little-known market is one of the best ways to make consistent gains no matter which way stocks go. Now, there are a lot of misconceptions about currencies, but there's one thing that everyone agrees on. Currencies have the potential to make you wealthy a lot quicker than traditional strategies. All it takes is a 1% move in either direction for you to potentially make several times that. And that makes them the perfect vehicle to jumpstart your retirement, especially during a chaotic market like we're seeing right now. Even with a tiny change in a currency's value, you could make hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars practically overnight. Take one of our trade recommendations from last year. Back in September, we beta tested an actual currency trade, not a backdoor trade, which I'll show you later. We predicted that the US dollar was about to get stronger than the Australian dollar. Now, we didn't expect it to get a lot stronger, just a little bit, around 1 or 2 cents worth. And that's exactly what happened. And in just 4 days, you could have made $1,892 from a $4,000 starting stake. So you see, currencies can make you sizable windfalls from even the smallest of moves. And that's because currencies give you what's known as leverage. For every small change in the dollar's value, you could make 5, 10, even 50 times your money. In fact, all it takes is the dollar to move 1/10,000th of a point for a currency trader to potentially make a big gain. Now that's incredible. It's almost impossible to amplify your earning power to that degree in stocks or bonds or any conventional investment. That's probably why many of the biggest trades of all time were currency trades. Now, you may have heard George Soros' famous trade, or maybe we'll call it an infamous trade. Back in 1992, he became famous for breaking the Bank of England. England was under a lot of pressure to devalue its currency. So Soros bet that the British pound would decrease in value compared to the US dollar. And sure enough, he was right. And he pocketed a cool $1 billion profit in a single day. Another example is a currency trader named Andy Krieger. Years ago, he took a big position against the New Zealand dollar, and he made a quick $300 million for his employer. Heck, even Warren Buffett has got in on the action. Most people don't realize it, but he's been making currency investments going all the way back to the early 2000s. One of them made him $2 billion. Now, these are once-in-a-lifetime windfalls, to be sure. But my point is, to make real money, you've got to fish where the big fish are swimming. And they're all in the currency markets. In fact, today, all the big banks on Wall Street trade currencies, and they make billions of dollars. It's one of their biggest sources of trading profits today. Even if you could have a small fraction of the success of these big players, your life would never be the same. And with my one trade retirement blueprint, it couldn't be any easier to get started. I've removed all the complexity. As I'll explain, you don't have to trade actual currency pairs, like the examples that I just showed you. All you have to focus on is one unique type of trade. You can make it over and over again every month. You don't even have to set up a currency account. See, we use a backdoor way to play the currency markets that I think is a lot less complicated. You can get started with a few mouse clicks using your existing brokerage account, and I'll explain exactly how that's possible in just a minute. And I'll also show you the exact ticker you need to get started. Plus, I'll also share my currency market prediction with you. Over the course of my career, I've accurately predicted many of the big market moving events, like the crashes in 2008 and 2020, as well as many of the corrections in between. Later on, I'll share my currency market prediction, which I think is going to surprise a lot of people. But first, you're probably wondering, why now? Why is currency trading delivering huge returns while everything else seems to be tanking? There are a few reasons. Well, first of all, the currency market offers broad market crash protection. In the entire history of the financial markets, the currency market has never experienced a broad market crash, not even once. And that's because currencies don't trade like stocks and bonds. They trade in pairs. When pundits say the dollar is strong, what they really mean is that it's strong compared to other currencies. That's the way this market works. If one currency goes down in value, the other one goes up. In other words, barring a return to the barter system, while individual currencies may fall, the currency market can't experience an across-the-board sell-off. That's a huge advantage over the stock market. In just the past 25 years, we've seen 4 big stock market crashes. Entire indexes has fallen as much as 76%. And in some cases, it took 15 years for the market to recover. And that means if you happen to retire at the wrong time, you had to wait a decade and a half just to get back to even. Now, with the currency market, you don't have to worry about that. No matter how bad a recession gets, no matter how long and hard stocks fall, there's always a bull market for certain currencies. And that brings me to the second reason. The currency market is loaded with cash. It's the biggest market in the world by far. Around $5 to $6 trillion change hands every single day. Now, I know it's hard to even wrap your head around how much money that is. But think of it this way. Each and every single day, there is 200 times more money traded in the currency market than on the stock market. Well, that's unbelievable, right? Most people have never traded this market, yet there's 200 times more money up for grabs than with stocks. And that money isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's actually growing. With all the activity we've seen recently, there have been days where $7.5 trillion traded hands. This is the exact opposite of the stock market. During 2022's big decline, as much as $13 trillion of stock market wealth evaporated into thin air. In other words, stock investors are scrambling to get a piece of a shrinking pie. But with currencies, the pie is actually getting bigger. There's more money to be traded than ever. And you just have to know how to find it. And that leads me to the third reason that you should consider trading currencies. The market is booming right now. The currency market has long been the world's biggest market, but there's a reason that I'm pounding the table for it right now. As we speak, this is an especially good time to trade currencies. And here's why. For years, until 2022, central banks around the world slashed interest rates to near zero. And that meant there wasn't much of an opportunity to trade currencies. Simply put, there wasn't any volatility. But last year, all of that changed. Once the Fed started raising rates, it caused a massive chaos across the markets, including a major crash here in US stocks. But this volatility didn't harm the currency market. In some ways, in fact, it made currencies far more attractive. And now, volatility is creating enormous fortunes for traders, according to Bloomberg. See, get this. Do you remember last year when JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon warned about an economic hurricane? It was a big story and it made all the headlines. But here's the part that didn't make the headlines. At the same time that Dimon was telling you to brace yourself, his traders were making money like never before. Because behind the scenes, they quietly had their best third quarter ever. And they weren't the only ones. Bank of America's traders went an entire quarter without a single day of losing money. That's 3 whole months without a single losing day. And this is happening across the board. Big banks and institutions are quietly making record profits. And all told, the second half of last year, currency trading helped Wall Street trading desks deliver their best results ever. And you can see it right here. That's why my team and I have started talking about currencies on our website and performed our currency beta test. And that's why I'm talking to you today. The big banks want you to believe that you're not cut out for this particular market. They want you to believe that only sophisticated investors like themselves should have a chance at these record-breaking profits. They think you should have to suffer through drawdowns, recessions, and everything else that comes with stock market investing. I'm telling you, nothing could be further from the truth. There's no reason Wall Street should make piles of cash while the little guy settles for scraps. See, it's times like these that you need every advantage you can get. And that's why last summer, I decided that it was time to test drive a currency trading strategy. I went out and found an elite currency trader. He's a former money manager who is the right-hand man of Andy Krieger. That's the world-class currency trader that I mentioned earlier. This man and I worked together to create a currency strategy for everyday folks. And when we started, I have to admit, I was a little bit nervous. I mean, we were taking a big professional risk. See, a lot of folks thought we were wasting our time with this whole currency thing. And if we failed, we'd kind of be the laughing stock. Now, what's more, we were smack dab in the middle of a full-on crash in the stock market. The market was down 20% on the year and was going nowhere. And it seemed like a terrible time to try something new like this. Now, fortunately, the results were better than we even imagined. Now, like I said, we traded currency pairs in our beta test. And later on, I'll show you my backdoor approach that's maybe a little bit different. And I think it's probably a much better way to get started. But you need to see these results first. See, jump back to July 7th, 2022. We performed a trade on the US dollar. This is one of my favorite currencies to trade. It's the biggest in the world. It's extremely liquid, which makes it easy for small investors to trade it. And in this case, we predicted the US dollar would get slightly weaker against the Australian dollar. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Within 7 days, our beta testers could have walked away with $1,767. Now, let me put that gain in perspective for you. The average monthly Social Security check is $1,550. And with this one currency trade, you could have made more than that in a fraction of the time. And that was just the start. You see, the next week we issued another trade, and this time our testers could have made even more. It delivered $1,907 in just 5 days. In other words, from just these first 2 trades, we're already talking about over $3,600. And we kept going. The week after that, we issued another trade. And the week after that, yet another one. And from the July trades alone, beta testers could have pocketed $1,767 in 7 days, $1,907 in 5 days, $2,145 in 3 days, and $1,694 in just 24 hours. Isn't that amazing? Every one of these examples is 100% real. It's not a back test that some MBA student whipped up on his laptop. These are real, actual gains that happen during the stock market bear market. Jump ahead to August. We picked up right where we left off. On August 5th, we made the same trade we started off July with. We predicted the Australian dollar would once again get slightly stronger than the US dollar. This is one of the great things about currencies. You see, you don't have to scour the markets looking for the latest hot stock. You can trade the same currencies over and over again. In fact, during our test, we traded the same pairing 11 times. This time around, we delivered $728 in a single day. Yes, our beta testers could have woken up, placed this trade, and could have made several $100s before their heads hit the pillow that night. And we were just getting started. That month, we issued 6 recommendations in all, and every single one was a winner. Anybody who followed the trades could have made $728 in less than a day, $1,560 in less than a day, $1,227 in 2 days, $766 in 3 days, and $1,450 in 3 days, and a whopping $3,560 in 9 days. See, that's a grand total of $5,731 with an average holding period of just 3 days. These kinds of returns are not normal in today's market, and a lot of people right now are losing money. That's why I'm going to show you a backdoor into this particular market. See, there's lots of money to be made from currencies without the hassle and the risk of trading the currencies directly. But first, let's jump ahead to September. Now, as you recall, September was a horrible month for the S&P 500. I mean, you can see it here on this chart. That month alone, the S&P fell 9%. Now, if all your money is tied up in a 401k, that's devastating. I mean, that's a lot of money just poof, up in smoke. However, with our currency strategy, our testers could have made over $4,000 from just 2 trades. Now, think about the peace of mind that gives you, to have the chance to make thousands of dollars while the stock market is collapsing. While others are pulling their hair out, tossing and turning all night long, you could be sleeping like a baby. And the best part is that $4,000 payday didn't involve anything complex. I mean, we're talking about 2 trades in an entire month. And when you trade like this, you don't have to spend hours glued to your computer. You don't have to follow every Fed announcement or every earnings report or the latest breaking news. I mean, you can sit back and enjoy life. I mean, are you starting to see why that I'm so bullish on currencies right now? I mean, can you see why I think everyday folks should dip their toe into this market? This is your chance to get off the stock market roller coaster. No more watching the market fall 3% or 5% or even 9% in a month and wondering how you're going to retire. The market could stay down for years and it wouldn't matter. With just a handful of currency trades, you could have a steady stream of money coming in. Plus, as I said earlier, I've discovered the perfect way to get started. It's the simplest currency trade that I know of, even simpler than the trades that I've shown you so far. You can get started with just a few $100s using your existing brokerage account, and all it takes is a few mouse clicks. Again, I'll get to all of that in just a moment. But look at what happened back in October. This was the month we finally opened up our recommendations to subscribers, and we even launched a high-end research service called Currency Trader. Now, up to that point, we were making actual recommendations, but keeping them private to a small group of beta testers. But after our 13th winning trade and a 100% success rate, it was clear that this strategy works. So we needed to share it with our readers, and I'm so glad that we did. The gains just kept coming. October, November, December, you could have made $997, $1,725, $452, $480, $2,624, $1,880, and all told, from July through December, we went 19 for 20. We delivered on 95% of our trades, with the average gain coming in just 3 days. Look at what the market was doing over the same period. The market went up, it went down, it went sideways. Facebook hit its lowest level in 6 years. Target's profits fell almost 90%. At one point, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta lost a combined $350 billion in market cap in 1 week. I mean, it was an absolute mess. Yet through it all, our strategy, using currencies, delivered gains consistently. I had our team put together a detailed breakdown on this chart. Now, anybody who started with a $4,000 stake and followed every single recommendation, 6 months later, they could have been sitting on $26,184. Now, what if your starting stake was smaller? Not a problem. That's the great thing about currencies. So you can put up however much or however little you want. Here's the bottom line. This is the secret to making money in today's volatile market. No more watching your portfolio bounce up and down. No more chasing every hot trade they're screaming about on CNBC. All you have to do is make a small handful of currency trades and apply our techniques. And speaking of that, it's time to reveal our one trade strategy. You see, most people think the only way to access the currency markets is to trade currencies directly, like what we did in our beta test. But here's what people don't understand. There is a backdoor way that you can access the currency markets through your existing brokerage account. It's all thanks to a unique ticker called UUP. This security is largely unknown, but it's an index that tracks the dollar relative to other currencies. If the dollar rises, UUP rises. If the dollar's falling, UUP falls. It's really that simple. So all you have to do is make a basic options trade on UUP. You'll have the chance to amplify your gains just like in the currency markets, and you can use your existing brokerage account. This is the perfect way to get started in the currency markets. Now, you've already seen how much success we've had trading the dollar. During our beta test and in our currency trader service, we recommended it more than any other currency, and it delivered fantastic gains every month. And now you can start trading it too through this unique ticker, starting immediately. Over the next few months, I believe you could see several opportunities to make hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars. And you'll get all the details in my guide, The Currency Trading Retirement Blueprint. I'm making it available to you today, and it'll show you exactly how to start making these trades. Now, don't worry if you've never traded before. This is my specialty. I've been trading for almost 40 years now. In fact, when I ran my money management firm, I built it around trading. You see, I realized a long time ago that investing the traditional way wasn't going to cut it. I mean, the math just didn't add up. I mean, see for yourself. This century, the market has averaged 7.5% returns per year. And at that rate, it would take you 32 years to grow your wealth 1,000%. That's 32 years. Now, maybe that works if you're 20 years old. But if you're already at or near retirement age, that's not going to cut it. But with the right trading techniques, you could theoretically make a 1,000% gain very quickly. So I decided to build my money management firm around trading. And boy, I'm glad I did. See, I manage money for widows, Silicon Valley executives, and everything in between. Some folks gave me $10 million plus to manage for them. Now, my firm grew to the point where I was managing well over $200 million. And in fact, a couple of firms offered me jobs so that I'd share my secrets with them. And that includes one of the country's largest market-making firms. They offered me a $5 million bankroll to trade with, and I politely declined. See, I still have a letter from one of my former clients. He is a president of a corporation endorsing me. And he said, no matter whether the stock market is moving up or down, Jeff somehow manages to find a strategy that works. Overall, I could not be happier with his performance. Things worked out so well that I was able to walk away from money management at just 42 years of age. But I wasn't ready to call it a career. See, I started sharing my ideas directly with everyday people. And at this point, I've shown thousands and thousands of folks how to make lots of money through trading. Like Tom M., who says, just joined your Jeff Clark Trader last month with a lifetime subscription. Today, I closed out a position you recommended for a 150% gain in less than 3 weeks. Or Brad K., who wrote, another blowout week. You nailed it again, 65K. But I'm especially excited about the opportunity that's in front of you right now. See, you get to combine the power of options trading with the most exciting market in the world, currencies. Each and every day, $5 trillion is up for grabs. Everyday folks are seeing the chance to make $1,000, $2,000, even $3,000 or more in quick profits. And I predict a lot more opportunities in the near future. Why? Because we're no longer in a zero interest rate environment. Last year, as the Fed changed rates, it sent the dollar moving like it hasn't in years. And as the Fed continues to tweak the rates, the dollar should keep moving too. And ultimately, I believe the dollar is going to be much lower by the end of the year, but it's not going to happen in a straight line. You know, there should be plenty of volatility along the way, and that's great news for anyone following the currency market. And now, you have a chance to tap into this market too with just a few mouse clicks. In our blueprint, my team and I give you a full breakdown on UUP. We explain how it works, how it's tied to the dollar, and how to start trading it immediately. It's not complicated. If you've ever traded a stock before, it's essentially the same thing, with a few more mouse clicks. Plus, we also reveal a few other currency tickers that you can trade as well. They give you exposure to other big currencies like the euro, the Japanese yen, even the price of gold. And in the report, will show you exactly how to trade each one. Most importantly, this report is going to show you how to use these tickers to potentially see extraordinary gains. And who knows, maybe you'll start seeing gains as early as today. The hardest part is figuring out which tickers to use, which we've done for you. You get to use our recommendations to give you the chance to collect a lot of money month after month. Just remember, there's no need to risk a lot of the money with these plays. $1,000 or even just a few $100s is enough to get started. You'll get a full breakdown in our guide, The Currency Trading Blueprint. But that's just the start. See, we've also included a series of bonus materials in the guide, including a complete intro to currency trading. Wall Street has done a good job of keeping the currency market to themselves, but we aim to change that. And I think you'll be surprised at how straightforward it is. See, there's no earnings reports, no financial statements, or half the stuff that comes with stock investing. It's just a handful of currencies moving against each other. We break down this market in detail and show you exactly how it works. Plus, we also explain why we recommend an account minimum of around $10,000 to follow these strategies, why you shouldn't invest money that you can't afford to lose, and how to manage the inherent risks that options and currencies come with, and how to turn a losing trade into a big potential gain. See, for a percentage of our recommendations, there is a chance that if the trade goes against you, you're what we call put the stock, meaning that you have to buy 100 shares of the underlying stock. Now, being put the stock may seem like a bad thing, but if you know what you're doing, these kinds of trades could still end up being quite profitable. Now, I know it sounds too good to be true, but we explain everything in the report. And that's not all. Beyond this report, I have something else that I want to offer you. Something that I think you're really going to like. See, I know what I'm telling you is probably new. And if you're like most people, you've been told that trading, and especially trading currencies, is hard. You know, that you're not cut out for it, that you should leave it to the experts and be content to follow the market. I'm telling you, nothing could be further from the truth. You can do this, and I want to prove it to you. And to that end, I have a flagship monthly research service called Jeff Clark Trader. And right now, we're offering a special discount to anyone who joins today. This service is unlike any other membership. We've looked around and we can't find any other service that's exactly like this one. Every month, I show you how to use my trading strategies for the chance to see extraordinary gains. I give you my latest trading ideas along with my full analysis and research. And so far, the results have been great. Tens of thousands of people from all walks of life have joined, with thousands more joining every month. But now we're taking it to the next level. See, I've added a world-class currency trader to the team, a man named Imre Gams. And as I said, he's a former currency money manager. He worked alongside Andy Krieger, one of the most famous currency traders of all time, and has made huge returns in this market. He's the secret behind our currency trading success, and I am thrilled to have him on board. Every month, he and I work together to line up the next backdoor currency trade recommendation. And as needed, we send you updates on the trade recommendations throughout the month. The aim here is to show you how to make money again and again, no matter what's happening in the stock market. Now, obviously, past performance doesn't guarantee future returns. We hear that all the time. And obviously, there's no such thing as a risk-free investment. And that includes our trading strategies. But you've seen the results for yourself. In fact, at Jeff Clark Trader, we've attracted a global audience, with many folks sending in glowing praise. Michael C. wrote, "I was a broker at a major wirehouse for nearly 50 years. I want to compliment Jeff Clark for having a readable, great service." And Dave W. wrote, "Hi Jeff, what a week. Your guidance through this volatility is fantastic. I had my best week yet trading with you." And like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You know, more folks are joining every day. And now, as we speak, people are paying well over $1,000 to access Currency Trader. That's our advanced currency trading research service. However, when you join my introductory service, Jeff Clark Trader, you won't pay anything close to that. So I've arranged an unbelievable offer for you. When you act today, you can get a one-year membership for just $19. That's it. Now, why so cheap? Look, I know what it's like to struggle financially. You know, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. My dad and his dad before him were farmers. And over the years, I've helped a lot of rich people get even richer. But I can tell you this, it's a lot more satisfying to show everyday people how to grow their wealth. That's what I'm trying to accomplish today. So I've made the research service as cheap as possible. I mean, it breaks down to just a nickel a day. And I'm telling you, you're not going to find a better offer than that. Here's a recap of everything you'll get when you join. 1 full year of Jeff Clark Trader. As a new subscriber, you'll receive our latest recommendation and research immediately. Then around the 4th Monday of the month, you'll receive the next series of recommendations. Now, keep in mind, we aim to find the best, lowest risk trade opportunities. These don't always happen according to a set schedule, so the recommendations may not always come on the exact day. I mean, they might come a day or two before, maybe a day or two after. But either way, the goal of each recommendation is to give you a chance at a nice gain. You'll also get my special report, the Currency Trading Blueprint. And like I said, this guide is not available anywhere else. The only way you can get it is through this special offer. You also get our video training series. One of my specialties is teaching. I was hired by a California university to teach options trading and securities pricing to MBA students. I eventually became the dean of the business school, and I was the youngest dean in the school's history by about 20 years. And on top of that, when I ran my money management firm, I trained over 1,000 people to become licensed stockbrokers. And a number of them wound up at firms like Merrill Lynch or Payne Weber. Some of these folks paid thousands of dollars to hear my instruction. But today, through this video series my team and I created, you can get the same kind of education for free. Patrick W. said, "Jeff, thanks. I joined Jeff Clark Trader and wasn't disappointed. You clearly explain options better than I have ever had it explained. You are clearly an expert at what you do, but yet humble. And I really liked your training videos. Your advice is clearly not fake, get-rich-quick stuff, but sensible, financially sound advice." Thanks, Patrick. I have many more stories just like his, and in these training videos, I walk you through everything you need to know to get started trading. This is a total value of nearly $1,000, and it's all yours for just $19. There's only one catch. This offer may not be available for long. You see, I believe 100% in our trading strategies, and it's important to me personally to show as many folks as I can how to start using it. And that's why we've done everything possible to make the price a non-issue. But we can only do this for a limited time. In the future, the price could be much higher. So if you want to lock in this low rate, we need to hear from you right away. Of course, you're 100% protected by our 60-day money-back guarantee. And I'm happy to say that most of our subscribers love the research. We get positive feedback all the time. But if for some reason it's not for you, that's okay. Just call our customer service team within the next 60 days and they'll give you a full refund. And to make it fairer than fair, I'll let you keep the special report. No questions asked. Now that sounds fair, right? Now just remember, you have very little time to lock in this special offer. Click on the button below to get started. You'll be taken to a secure order form, and within minutes, you'll have our first recommendations in your inbox. And again, just click on the button below to get started.